Okay, so last night, on a complete whim that was decided late Saturday evening, AJ and myself actually went to Athens, and we watched 2 new movies. So those 2 movies are going to be added to the Roger Ebert documentary, Life Itself, and they're going to be covered with the movies that are going to be released this week, the 3 new releases in The Purge, Anarchy, Sex Tape, and Planes, Fire, and Rescue. So all that's going to come on AJ's Movie Reviews this coming Friday. The Saturday, of course, Gaming with Ash continues, and hopefully you guys and girls out there are enjoying that. And that will be coming on Saturday. And Sunday we had a brand new Versus that was given to us by another fan. So yes, that's coming soon. And we got a new idea for a new segment coming to pop very soon. And starting August 2nd, we're going to start finding out what AJ doesn't like. That's going to be your tease, and I'm doing it on a wrestling video because I know some of you out there watch these videos, and I do appreciate it. But for those of you that don't watch these videos, I'll do a little tease probably if we do a Halloween Horror Nights video later this week, once we get the official announcement from Dusk Till Dawn, because that was leaked out over the weekend. So let's talk NXT, shall we? NXT from last week, and we started the show out with a #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship matchup between Summer Rae and Bayley. And this match was pretty good, actually, and it went pretty quick. We started off with Charlotte watching on a monitor in the back, basically seeing who her competition was going to be. And we pick it up from there, and Bayley gets slammed face first into the canvas, and Summer pulls out her ponytail. And usually that makes me believe that Bayley's about ready to go completely nutsoid, and she doesn't here. She actually gets taken face first to the top turnbuckle, and she gets tied up in between the top and middle ropes, and Summer puts the foot in the lower back, putting pressure on the back. Makes a cover 1-2, and Bayley kicks out. So the scissor stomp does connect, and 2 off of that. Whip in is caught, and Summer Rae ends up in a guillotine choke, locking on a guillotine choke, and roll through and starts pounding away, slamming Bayley's back of the head into the canvas repeatedly. So she ducks the clothesline, and her spin kick is caught, and sweeps the leg, does Bayley on Summer Rae, and a nice chant starts from the Full Sail crowd with "Bayley's gonna hug you." I thought that was funny. Backs her in the corner. She's trying to rip off Sheamus, not Samoa Joe. But still, it was always there. I think that's hilarious, though. Back in the corner, a shoulder block, and her Sheamus offense starts. Axe handle, axe handle, axe handle, and charging shoulder, and a leaping back elbow. Connects with a modified exploder suplex, gets a 2 off of that. Whip in reverse, and a spin kick from Summer Rae only gets a 1 count. Charges into Bayley's boot, and middle rope, spinning back elbow does connect. And she goes for the belly to Bayley, and that is countered. Ducks the clothesline into the Summer Crush, and Summer Rae is now your #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. And that makes complete sense given the fact that her former BFF partner, Charlotte, is the current champion. So we're building towards that. So, of course, we get a promo in the back. Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville were talking about the events of last week and how Tyson Kidd has brainwashed Justin Gabriel into joining his cause for whatever reason. And no matter what happens, they should have seen it coming, and they're seeing the true colors of Tyson Kidd for the first time in forever. And this isn't certainly the last time they will hear from them. We got our next match. It is a squash between Sin Cara and Wesley Blake. Wesley Blake does a lot of tag team job matches on NXT and has throughout the network days and before NXT was available on the network. But I will say that he's okay in the ring. He's actually pretty good. This match, I didn't think it'd be very good. The crowd, not really a fan of Sin Cara, and I think they should just get rid of the gimmick, to be totally honest, and let Unico be himself. So Wesley Blake with a flying armbar gets a 1 count off of that, and he drives the knees into the arm, trying to work the arm, the old Anderson tactic of working one singular body part the entire match, and ends up getting caught with a springboard into a 180 flying headbutt off the middle rope, and a clothesline, ducks it, and of course gets it off the opposite corner with a 180 into the flying body press by Sin Cara. Whip in reverse, and of course Muta-style handspring back elbow. Gets a 2 off of that, and a leaping kick connects. The Senton Bomb gets the 1, 2, 3, and Sin Cara wins. Not really sure what they're doing with Sin Cara right now. I I just keep him in NXT if they're going to do anything with that. And I just get rid of the gimmick completely and let Kalisto take over. I think Kalisto works with Sin Cara. They do a mask versus mask match, and he takes Sin Cara's mask, which makes Unico go back to being himself. And the former Samurai del Sol, Kalisto, can be the luchador of NXT, and I think that's the right direction to go, to be totally honest. Let Unico be himself. So Summer Rae and Sasha Banks are arguing in the back, and Summer's like, you can be my friend again. And Sasha's like, you know what? No, that's what Charlotte said. She's like, don't you dare mention Charlotte. As a matter of fact, after I win the Divas Championship, Charlotte will be a footnote in history and not ever remembered whatsoever. So once that happens, obviously, then Summer is going to have everyone beg her to be her friend yet again. And this is now the Summer of Summer. So yes, we get that. CJ Parker comes out to the music that I called last week that it was a complete and total ripoff of the Bangles' Hazy Shade of Winter. It's a complete and total ripoff of the Bangles' Hazy Shade of Winter as performed by Franz Ferdinand. Yeah, listen to the song and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He comes out and he basically apologizes for his actions against Xavier Woods last week. And he calls him out to do a personal face-to-face apology, and well, that doesn't go very well because Xavier Woods calls his bluff and says he's not buying any of this. Don't forget he's getting his PhD, so that means he believes in logic, and logic states that basically CJ Parker is full of it, and that's pretty much the end of that right there. CJ goes for a handshake and calls for peace, and Xavier puts the peace sign up in his face, and of course when he turns his back, he gets kicked in the back of the head, and that's the end of that. So we're continuing the CJ Parker-Xavier Woods feud. Got no issues with that. We had a nice black and white, old-timey, old grainy style promo with Simon Gotch and the RT stated in English, the Vaudevillains, and they're stating that they're not yet tag team champions, but they will be champs. Excelsior, and they laugh at each other, and it's awesome, and yeah, I love the Vaudevillains. Speaking of something I'm not really a big fan of, yet it could work, and that is Bull Dempsey, and he gets a squash match against Angelo Dawkins. This match, basically, Dawkins gets a sunset flip, nice sunset flip actually, but he sits out of it, and he rains down the elbows, and a vicious headbutt. He drops 3 elbow drops in this case, and the gut shots in the corner, and Dawkins with some snap jabs, and finally drops the big man with a drop kick, and he tries to take advantage. He gets nailed with an elbow. The bulldozer Northern Lights bomb does connect, and that's the 3 after that, so yeah. After the match is over, he basically says he's going to be the wrecking ball, and he's not going to stop until he's champion. And Jason Albert, this is really interesting, his return to commentary, by the way. Jason Albert actually says on commentary that they might as well call him the one-man crime spree. 911 on line 1. So yeah, there's always that. We get our main event, and what a main event it was. Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel with Natalya in their corner taking on Sami Zayn and your NXT champion Adrian Neville. This match was really, really good and was really involved. Great back and forth match between 4 excellent superstars. And given the fact that Tyler Breeze was injured at this time, he actually returned to action over the weekend in Tampa in a house show. But as a babyface against CJ Parker, strangely enough. But it's just funny because that was one of his first feuds actually when before NXT got to the network. But yeah, I will say that this match was really, really good back and forth match. We pick up from the commercial break, and Tyson Kidd has Sami Zayn in the Tree of Woe, and he puts the boots to him rapidly, tagging to Justin Gabriel, the camel clutch into the front seated drop kick by Gabriel, and they get a 2 off of that. So tagging to Tyson Kidd, and the double stiff kick off the ropes connects 1-2 and a kick out, a front face lock, and tagging to Justin Gabriel, a scoop slam, and, drops the knee, 1-2, and Sami Zayn kicks out. So, 2 stiff back elbows. When he tries to stop him from making the tag, obviously needs to tag in Neville at this point, and he pulls him into the corner. Gabriel goes for a short splash, he misses, and this gets Zayn to finally make that tag to Adrian Neville. He comes into the House of Fire, a flying forearm. Yakuza knocks Tyson Kidd off the ring apron and ducks the clothesline, hits the flying forearm the proper way this time. Spinning back kick, front kick, and a spinning back kick comes off the ropes, and a front drop kick to the top of the head. Standing shooting star press connects 1-2 and a kick out from Justin Gabriel. He kicks Tyson Kidd off the ring apron when he tries to interfere, and he ducks the round kick, and pop-up Rana from Justin Gabriel is caught in a sit-out powerbomb, 1-2, and again, Kidd makes a save. So he drags Gabriel to the corner to try to go up top for the Red Arrow. Excuse me. And Tyson Kidd ends up getting tagged in. Actually, no, I'm completely wrong. I have to go back to this. So smartly, Tyson Kidd drags his partner to the corner so he can make the tag, and he does just that. So he springboards, and he gets caught by Neville's super kick, 1-2, and a kick out. So he drags him into position. He goes up top for the Red Arrow. I was a bit off on that. I was reading ahead, actually. And Tyson Kidd drop kicks the turnbuckle, knocks Adrian Neville off, and Kidd with a springboard, elbow drop, and Sami Zayn makes the save. So he low bridges Justin Gabriel's charge, sending him over the top rope to the floor. And Tyson Kidd with a suplex, float over by Neville, standing switch reversal. He goes for the O'Connor roll, tag in, and Sami Zayn is now the legal man here. And Neville tags in Sami Zayn off of that. Ducks the elbow, ducks the clothesline, and Neville with a tope on Justin Gabriel on the floor. Zayn with a flying body press, 1-2, and a kick out because he's now the legal man. Tyson Kidd kicks out at 2. So 2 big right hands. And Tyson Kidd breaks up any sort of momentum with an eye rake, and he charges in, gets back body dropped over the top rope to the floor, and this, of course, allows Sami Zayn to nail the tope con hilo on all 3 men battling on the floor, tosses Kidd in, and Natty ends up going to check on Tyson because Tyson apparently tweaked his knee, and this allows for Natty to get up on the apron, and Tyson ends up getting punched into Natty, and Natty gets knocked off the ring apron. They both go to check on her, and Sami Zayn steps out through the middle rope to try to check on her, and the opportunist Tyson Kidd is, he rolls up Sami Zayn from behind, 1, 2, and 3. So yes, the winners of this match, Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. After the match is over, Tyson celebrates like he just won the World Championship, and that's the end of that. So yeah, that was an excellent match between these 4 superstars. And remember I said last week that we were going to get the return of Scott Dawson? Yes, he's going to be coming soon, and he's actually teaming up with a new partner to go after Sylvester Lefort and Marcus Louis of the Legionnaires, and just like I said they would. And it's not Garrett Dillon, who's actually apparently on job duty now. Sorry. And apparently he's also Captain Comic for the Rosebuds when Adam Rose shows up for NXT. But I will say that he is teaming with a superstar that has been recommended to me, actually. He's a superstar that comes from the Indies. His name is Steven Walters, and in NXT his name is Dash Wilder, which is going to be interesting to see where they do with that, which kind of reminds me of Jock Wilder from Kick Buttowski. So yeah, there's always that. I did make the final comparison before we talk about SmackDown. I did make the final comparison that yes, Seth Rollins is an ode to Henry Rollins like I thought it was. But that's all that. So yeah, he'll be returning to action very soon, and he's going to be bringing Dash Wilder with him, and that's coming soon. The Vaudevillains, of course, still gunning for the NXT Tag Team Champions that cannot be defeated. Connor and Victor of the Ascension are not on the show this week. I'm sure they'll be on the show next week. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Tyler Breeze is now officially back to action, so that means he can seek forth to get his golden opportunity at the NXT Championship with Adrian Neville. I believe that happens actually during these tapings. I'm not positive. But yeah, I don't really try to read NXT spoilers because I'm trying to do that off the top. So yeah, that was NXT this week. What I'd recommend, Bayley and Summer Rae was really good. And I would actually recommend Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville against Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel in the main event. One of the best matches of the week, actually. We get our next show. Let's talk about SmackDown. SmackDown starts off with Fandango, with Layla, of course, taking on Adam Rose, who has Summer Rae and the Rosebuds this week. And Layla and Summer fight. Fandango pulls them off and separates them. They get a fight again, and then Fandango gets hit accidentally, and this allows for him to get counted out. So he gets in the ring, and he tries to interrupt Adam Rose's day, and he eats the party foul. So yeah, that was the end. Really short match. Adam Rose wins, and we get an announcement that there's going to be Layla and Summer Rae with special guest referee Fandango, a rematch for Money in the Bank, and that is going to happen later this evening. So we get our official opening of the show. Like I said, you know I don't watch the regular episodes. I watch the one on Sky. And it's Rusev and Lana. They come out, and Roman Reigns is all style and no substance. Lana says your inferiority will be exposed. Rusev will crush. This brings out Roman Reigns to the crowd. He says, this is my ring. Think again. Be careful what you wish for, Mr. Rusev. Get a ref down here. Let's do this right now. Here comes Charles Robinson. And Lana's like, no. We do this on our terms. And bombs out. So yeah, that's the opening. So yeah, we're building towards the main event, which is Rusev and Roman Reigns, which is a match a lot of people want to see. We pick up our next match. It is a non-title match. The Divas Champion, AJ Lee, taking on Cameron. And I've been saying a lot about Cameron can't work in the ring. But dear God, if she didn't break out the cattle mutilation in the match. And kind of shocked the daylights out of me. Obviously it wasn't mentioned, but yeah, that was something that she did in the match. And I really do mean she locked on the cattle mutilation. So he rolls her up for 1, drop kick for 2, AJ kicks out, and whip in, charges him with a big splash, reverse neck breaker by AJ, whip in, spin kick, gets a 2 off of that, and Cameron powders, of course, and Naomi comes in, tosses her in the ring, and she eats the roll up into the Shining Wizard, kind of like what Kalisto does with the spin kick, but instead of that, she hits the knee strike instead of the spin kick. So yes, Shining Wizard connects 1, 2, 3, and AJ wins. Cameron and Naomi will definitely be battling very soon. They're not officially announced for Battleground, but I do think that given the fact we've got 6 matches booked and 7 potentially could happen, I think Cameron and Naomi probably battle on Raw, actually. I think they battle on Raw tonight, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do. So Randy Orton's talking in the back, and he basically says to Chris Jericho, he's a legend, well, then you need to be introduced to the Legend Killer. So we're getting Randy Orton and Chris Jericho later on in the show, which should be pretty good. We get the Usos non-title match against the new team of Titus O'Neil and Heath Slater. They basically have dropped their partners who were the dead weight. Haven't we seen this before? With the Minnesota Stretching Crew of Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar, as well as the Hawes brothers, Russ and Charlie. Rest in peace, Russ, obviously. So yeah, that's how the World's Greatest Tag Team became a team. I don't think this is going to go that direction, but I do like the team of Titus and Heath Slater. I think it works pretty well. JBL will call him the Slater and the Gator. That may take a bit to get used to. We pick it up right at the end of the match, and basically Heath goes to the middle rope, and he gets a super kick for his troubles. The Samoan Splash connects 1, 2, 3, and the Usos win. So yeah, big win for the Usos, and they're going to be facing off against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper in a 2 out of 3 falls match on Sunday at the pay-per-view. I cannot believe Battleground is already 6 days away. It's crazy. These pay-per-views are insane. So the Usos are in the ring and they're having fun. They're doing Dave Chappelle style or Eddie Griffin style commentary on their match with the Wyatt family, and it made me laugh, actually. So yeah, we got that. We got our next match. It is Chris Jericho against Randy Orton, and before the match, of course, there is a wide interruption. Bray says, "Save us, Chris." He's got the whole world in his hands. He sings again. He's like, "Save yourself." So we pick it up midway through this match, and Jericho stands on Orton's back as he's draped across the middle rope, and he dive bombs off the ropes, 1, 2, and a kick out. Charging clothesline in the corner, and a stomp away and a foot choke. 3 big chops, whip in reverse, and Jericho misses a splash, and he gets knocked over the top rope to the floor. So Orton sends Jericho into the steps on one side of the ring, and then to the opposite side of the ring does the same thing. And a backdrop on the barricade, tosses him in, 1, 2, and a kick out. Rolls him up, 1, 2, and a kick out. So Orton with a clothesline stops Jericho's momentum, 1, 2, and a kick out. Chin lock by Orton, and Jericho elbows his way out. A chop and a big whip ducks the head, and Orton ends up getting tossed to the canvas. Well-placed stomp by Orton, and a knee drop gets a 2 off of that. The chin lock and a creation of separation by Chris Jericho with a backdrop suplex gets a 2 off of that. And 2 big chops, and then a third for a succession. Whip in reverse, Jericho with a flying forearm off the ropes. Shoulder toss over to the apron, and he crowns Orton off the top with a double axe handle. Double leg going for the walls. He kicks off, and he catches him off with a Samoa Joe style power slam. 1, 2, and a kick out. Whip in, tip up by Jericho, catches Orton with the enziguri kick, 1, 2, and a kick out. A boot in, a whip, charges the clothesline, goes up top, and Orton crotches him up top. A big right hand climbs up, going for the Orton crest superplex, gets blocked, and a headbutt off by Jericho. Flying body press connects 1, 2, and Orton kicks out. Orton gets momentum back with a 3.0 backbreaker, goes for the snake bite, gets countered into the walls of Jericho, and of course, the rope break by Orton finally breaks up the hold. So Orton low bridges Jericho. He lands on the ring apron. He connects with the snake bite. Goes for the RKO. Gets tossed off by Jericho. Lion Salt connects and the wide interruption. Nobody there when the lights come back on. RKO 1, 2, 3. Great match between these two. Say what you want about Randy Orton, but when he's ready to go, it's insane. It's incredible how awesome it is. So yes, from Dust Till Dawn just got announced, actually. Thank you, John Murray. So we get our next match. It is Layla and Summer Rae with Fandango as the referee. He has tweaked his awesome referee gear, his sparkly, bedazzled ring gear. Now he has a V-neck, and he goes to kiss Layla. He does. He kisses Summer Rae, and he stops both of them from fighting. And they attack him. And basically, they dance together in the ring. Fandango powders the outside and watches what has been done. So Layla and Summer Rae have both been scorned by Fandango. And yeah, that's leading to them to team up together. Apparently, over the weekend, at Madison Square Garden, they teased kissing. And apparently the next night at the house show, they did kiss. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to work in a PG era, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. So yeah, I'm all for that, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen with Fandango out of this. Excuse me. It's like I said, it's the Tommy Dreamer thing with Beulah and Kimono Wanalea of ECW. It's like, I'm hardcore, I'll take them both. Fandango is creepy, he'll take them both. So there you go. Our next match is Goldust against Curtis Axel, of course, with Stardust and Ryback and their opposite corners. Axel goes for the perfect plex, gets countered in the final cut, and that's the 3. So Ryback goes for the shell shock on Goldust, gets stopped by Stardust, blowing Goldust, literally, into his face, and that's the end of that. So yeah. These teams cannot get apart from each other. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Ryback and Stardust tonight on Raw. That probably will happen since this is SmackDown. Of course, SmackDown is basically setting up matches for Raw for some reason, because apparently not enough people watch SmackDown. Our next match is Bo Dallas against Diego and El Torito in a handicap match. Bo comes out, he says, I'm not going to be handicapped, I'm going to be handy-capable, because it's a handicap match. Made very funny. The handyman reference from In Living Color. All of you are my tag team partners out there, and basically tells us all to Bo leave, and Diego eats the Bo dog, and that's the end. After the match is over, he tosses Torito in, and it's like, he looks like he's dead, first off, and Bo Dallas sounds like, is he okay? Is he okay? And he picks him up and gives him the Bo dog, so yeah. Bo Dallas is awesome. That's all you need to know. Match, hopefully Bo Dallas has an interesting match booked for Battleground. But he's actually just a part of the Battle Royal as of right now. So we get our main event, and it is Roman Reigns against Rusev. And Rusev with a nerve hold, and Roman punches his way out, comes off with an uppercut, goes off the ropes, and a spinning heel kick by Rusev sends down Roman. He kicks him in the corner, and a short arm kick to Reigns. He's taken over an advantage. 3 big headbutts to the back of the head, rabbit style. The nerve hold and a hair pull takedown by Rusev, utilizing the long, flowing black locks of Roman Reigns. 2 falling headbutts, a stomp to the lower back for good measure, and big headbutts to Rusev. High velocity whip to Roman Reigns, and then he hits another one. A kick to the ribs off the ropes, and the nerve hold again. Roman uses his immense strength to break the grip, and punches in the corner, whip in reverse clothesline, ducks the clothesline, and a leaping clothesline drops Rusev. Charges in with a clothesline in the corner, a big uppercut, the Samoan drop, the leaping drop kick across the ropes, of course, like he likes to do, and a Superman punch. Orton comes in with a neck snap, disqualification. Whip in, ducks the clothesline, Superman punch to Randy Orton. Rusev with a Muay Thai kick, and he goes, looks like he's going to crush, and Lana stops him, and they bomb out, so Orton continue this, and Orton gets in the ring, RKO on Roman Reigns, leaves him laying, and that's how we end SmackDown. Okay, so not as good of a match as I thought it was going to be. It was okay. I mean, Roman and Rusev was alright. I mean, I have a feeling that it'll progress to get better. Rusev working very heavily on the rest hold, so yeah. But that's okay. I mean, that's how it works sometimes. The rest holds get you heat, too, and they also get you a reason to go into the next spots. Anyway, it worked fine. It was an okay match for what it was. Nothing, like, outrageous, but it was okay. On this show, I definitely would recommend that match, and also would recommend Chris Jericho and Randy Orton. I wouldn't recommend anything else, unless you just want to see the sheer shock and awe when Cameron puts a cattle mutilation on AJ Lee. And the irony of that, given the fact that, of course, AJ used to work with Daniel Bryan. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Well, let's talk about, real quick, And there's a couple things real quick let's talk about today. It is 7/14/14, which of course has been cryptically tweeted by Sting, Sid Vicious, and the Honky Tonk Man. And tonight on Raw, apparently there's going to be an announcement, and it sounds to me like there's a good possibility that the first DLC content for WWE 2K15 is going to be Sting. And Sid Vicious and the Honky Tonk Man will also be involved. So, if you're going to tell me that there's not going to be a WCW mode this year with Sting in the game, I think you're crazy. I think they missed a golden opportunity. We've done WCW mode in the game, but they didn't have everybody. They didn't have all the players. Now, Sting is there. They have all the players, and they really could utilize that if they want to. They may be DLC, but it'd be worth it, honestly. I think it'd be awesome to have a WCW mode with Sting, not somebody I've created like I did in 2K14. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. And apparently there's going to be a Sting retrospective DVD box set finally coming out in September. So Sting, to my knowledge, hasn't signed a contract, at least yet. But he will be on Raw tonight. Not in person, but there's a promo that was shot. Apparently there was a commercial shoot that was leaked out to promote with a bunch of people wearing Sting paint as well as a live orchestra to play the music. So yeah, it's going to be really awesome to see that. So that's coming tonight, and that'll be announced later this evening on Raw. Another thing, of course, we're building towards Battleground, which is 6 days away. It's crazy. Thought we just had a pay-per-view, because we just did. And yeah, Battleground 6 days away, and of course Battleground is leading us to our next pay-per-view, which is SummerSlam, which is a big one, of course. SummerSlam in a Night of Champions, in a Hell in a Cell, and in a TLC. So that's going to bring us into the end of 2014 for WWE. So what I'd say right now the card is as followed. It has not been officially announced that I'm aware of, and it's not listed on WWE.com, but I cannot see there's a way they don't do it. It is Jack Swagger against Rusev, and I think that they will end up doing the flag match that I talked about them doing with Big E. I think that actually, the flag match between Rusev and Swagger happens at SummerSlam. I think that's exactly the direction I'm going to go with this at this point. So, of course, we get Chris Jericho against Bray Wyatt. We get the Usos defending the WWE Tag Team Championships against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper in a 2 out of 3 falls match. We also get AJ defending the Divas Championship against Paige, as well as Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins one-on-one. This is going to be a brawl, a fight. It's going to be really entertaining. And, of course, an Intercontinental title battle royal that has 13 names announced already. And I'm sure they're going to announce either 2 more to make it 15, or more to make it 20, or more to make it like 25 or 30. I don't think it's 30. There's no way they do a 30-man battle royal for the Intercontinental title. They might. It's possible. They've done it on Raw before. That's when Rick Martel won the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, they could do that. Rick Martel and Razor Ramon were the final 2, and they battled the next week in a singles match with Ramon winning. That was when Shawn Michaels lost his smile. But yes, there's always that, and leading to the awesome WrestleMania 10 ladder match they had with championships versus championships, both versions of the Intercontinental title. So we've got that, and maybe Barrett returns with a fake Intercontinental Championship, but I highly doubt it. So yeah, as of this moment, the superstars that have been announced for the Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal are the King of Swing Cesaro, Kofi Kingston, Damian Sandow, the Great Khali, Rob Van Dam, Dolph Ziggler, Big E Langston, Ryback, Curtis Axel, Alberto Del Rio, Bo Dallas, Sheamus, and Fandango. I do think they add names like The Miz and Zack Ryder, Titus O'Neil, Goldust, Stardust, Adam Rose, Heath Slater, potentially Mark Henry since he returned on the MSG house show over the weekend. So that's what I'm thinking as of right now. So Raw tonight should be interesting. Interesting to see what happens when Triple H and Stephanie return from their vacation. So probably going to be some miserable nights for people like John Cena and Roman Reigns, and possibly Nikki Bella at this point. So yeah, that's what we've got coming out of Raw this week, what I think's going to happen on Raw. And who knows, maybe a return of such coming out of Raw tonight. Don't know exactly who, but somebody maybe. And look forward to see what happens with Sting. So yeah, that was NXT and SmackDown for this week. So as always, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, and help spread the word about Pop. If you haven't yet liked our Facebook fan page, go like our Facebook fan page. It is Sir Owen Disney Pop on Facebook. Send me your friend request if you'd like to. It is Owen Disney on Facebook. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Sir Owen Disney. And last but certainly not least, you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions. You want to talk about wrestling, Universal, Disney, Halloween Horror Nights. You want to ask me questions. You want to be a podcaster yourself, send your content. You can do that. You have a versus idea, you can shoot that out to me. Or a segment you'd like to see on this channel, then be my guest. Send me an email, SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.